Imagine a silent, a kind of looming threat, like
Hmm.
a digital sword of Damocles hanging over every password, every bank transaction, every private message you've ever sent online.
Hmm.
This isn't theoretical. It's the stark reality of what people are calling Q-Day. That's the moment quantum computers could potentially crack the encryption, safeguarding our entire digital lives.
Right.
And here's the truly unsettling part. This isn't just some far-off future problem. Adversaries? They're apparently already doing this harvest now, decrypt later thing.
Exactly. They're collecting your encrypted data today, right now,
Yeah.
knowing that tomorrow, or, sometime soon, quantum computers might just render it completely exposed.
Wow.
Yeah. So our mission in this deep dive is really to pull back the curtain on this invisible war for our digital future. We need to uncover the profound dangers of quantum computing.
Okay.
I mean, from its potential to maybe collapse global finance and national security to this urgent, really breakneck race for post-quantum cryptography, PQC, that might just be our only lifeline.
Okay, let's unpack this. So to really get the scale of the problem, we first need to understand how our digital world is currently built, right? Everything we do online, our banking, emails, e-commerce, even classified government secrets, it relies on something called public key cryptography. Think of systems like RSA and elliptic curve cryptography,
Right.
ECC.
Right. Those are the big ones.
These create incredibly complex mathematical locks. I mean, a classical computer, even a supercomputer, would literally take trillions of years to break something like an RSA 2048 key.
Yeah, trillions. It's a staggering number that's longer than the universe has even existed.
Yep.
That's why we've trusted these systems so implicitly for so long. They seemed unbreakable.
Exactly.
Now,
Unbreakable.
quantum computers, they completely rewrite those rules.
That's so.
Instead of traditional bits, which are just, switches either a 1 or a 0, quantum computers use qubits.
Qubits, okay.
And through this weird quantum phenomenon called superposition, a qubit can be a 1, a 0, or both at the same time. Think of it like a coin spinning in the air before it lands.
Huh. Both at once.
Yeah, and what's truly revolutionary is that these qubits can be linked, entangled, allowing for this massive parallel processing. They can crunch calculations that are just simply impossible for our regular computers.
So way more powerful for certain problems.
Exponentially more powerful for certain problems. And this isn't just theory. Back in 1994, a mathematician named Peter Shor developed an algorithm.
Shor's algorithm, I've heard of it.
Right. It showed that a powerful enough quantum computer could factor large numbers incredibly fast, exponentially faster. And that's the key, because factoring large numbers is exactly what keeps RSA and ECC secure.
So Shor's algorithm basically breaks the locks.
Precisely. Breaking those RSA and ECC locks in maybe hours or days, not trillions of years.
Hours or days.
And the timeline. Well, the Quantum Security Alliance estimated in 2024 that a cryptographically relevant quantum computer, one needing roughly 1 million stable qubits to really do damage, could emerge by 2035.
2035, that's not that far away.
Not far at all, and some projections even put it as early as 2030.
Okay, wow. And that brings us right back to this immediate danger, this harvest now, decrypt later.
Exactly. It's not speculation, it's happening right now. State-backed hackers, sophisticated cybercriminals, they are actively intercepting and just storing vast amounts of encrypted data. They're hoarding it.
Hoarding it for Q-Day.
You got it. Waiting for the quantum key. A 2023 report from CISA, that's the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency.
Right, the government agency.
Yeah, they revealed that a shocking 40% of intercepted U.S. data is already vulnerable to future quantum attacks.
40%.
40%. This means financial records, military plans, even your personal health data collected today could be exposed retroactively. It turns this into a kind of silent heist, with potentially catastrophic delayed consequences.
It fundamentally changes how we think about data security and espionage. It's not just about protecting data now, but protecting it from future decryption.
Absolutely.
So, okay, here's where it gets really interesting or maybe terrifying. What happens when that quantum storm actually hits? What's the real-world fallout?
Well, it could be absolutely seismic. Take global finance, for example.
Okay.
Every digital signature that authenticates transactions in banking, stock markets, e-commerce, it's currently secured by RSA and ECC.
Right, the systems we just talked about.
Now imagine a quantum computer running Shor's algorithm suddenly able to just forge these signatures.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. We'd be looking at fraud on an unprecedented scale. A 2024 simulation by Deloitte actually estimated that a quantum breach could drain something like $1 trillion from global banks in just days.
$1 trillion.
In days.
That's the estimate. It could potentially crash markets worldwide, completely erode the trust that, frankly, underpins our entire economy.
That's staggering. And what about national security? That seems even darker.
It is, potentially. Governments globally rely so heavily on encryption. Military strategies, intelligence operations, sensitive diplomatic communications. It's all encrypted.
Using these same vulnerable methods. Largely, yes. And remember that harvesting. Adversaries are already stockpiling vast amounts of this sensitive data. A 2023 Department of Defense report highlighted that 60% of classified U.S. data currently uses vulnerable encryption.
60%.
Yeah. Putting us at risk of what could be the largest intelligence breach in history? Imagine decrypted communications exposing troop movements or nuclear protocols.
That could shift global power overnight.
Literally overnight. It's a massive strategic threat.
And it gets personal too, right? It's not just governments and banks.
Absolutely. Think about your encrypted emails, your health records, your private messages.
Yeah.
A 2024 Pew Research Center study found that 80% of Americans store sensitive data online.
Most of us do, yeah.
Mass decryption could enable widespread blackmail, incredibly sophisticated social engineering attacks. It paints a pretty dystopian picture where privacy as we currently understand it just vanishes.
And cryptocurrencies, I know they rely heavily on this stuff.
Yep. Huge risk there, too. Bitcoin, Ethereum, many others are built on ECC. A quantum computer could potentially derive private keys from public keys.
Meaning they could steal the coins.
Exactly. Drain digital wallets. The crypto market was valued at around $2.5 trillion in 2025, according to CoinMarketCap. A breach like that would devastate decentralized finance, especially for early adopters whose keys might be generated with older, potentially weaker methods.
Wow, okay, so these aren't just hypotheticals. You're saying these threats are actively shaping strategies right now.
Indeed. The urgency is palpable when you look at what's happening. For instance, there was that leaked MI6 report from 2023.
Right, you mentioned China.
Yeah, it suggested China's intelligence agencies are expanding data harvesting, specifically targeting encrypted Western communications, presumably for future quantum decryption.
So the harvesting is confirmed, essentially.
It appears so. And it's not just nation states. In the private sector, there was a ransomware attack in 2024 on a European bank. They actually exploited fears of quantum vulnerabilities.
How did they do that?
They demanded a huge ransom, $50 million, specifically with the threat that if the bank didn't pay, the attackers would store the stolen encrypted data for future quantum decryption.
Wow, weaponizing the future threat today.
Exactly. And for Bitcoin, experts estimate about 25% of its roughly $1 trillion market value could be stolen post-Q day if wallets aren't upgraded to PQC. Especially those older, dormant wallets. They're like sitting ducks.
Sitting ducks. It really underscores just how critical this moment is. How are governments and big tech responding? You mentioned CISA's report.
Well, the U.S. National Security Agency, the NSA, warned in 2024 that the quantum threat makes immediate PQC adoption for defense systems absolutely necessary. No ambiguity there.
That they're pushing hard.
They are. Meanwhile, tech giants like Microsoft are under immense pressure to update their cloud infrastructure. But it's slow going. Gartner, the tech research firm, reported that maybe only 15% of Microsoft servers are projected to be PQC compliant by 2025.
Only 15%? That seems low.
It highlights the scale of the challenge. It really means the crime the data hoarding is happening now, just waiting for that quantum future to unlock it all.
Okay, this is pretty heavy stuff. But there is hope, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned PQC.
Yes, definitely. There's a very real path forward, a crucial solution. Post-quantum cryptography or PQC.
So what is PQC exactly? How does it work differently?
Well, PQC uses entirely different types of mathematical problems. Instead of factoring large numbers, it might use something like lattice-based cryptography.
Lattice-based?
Yeah, essentially hiding data in complex, multidimensional geometric structures, lattices. The idea is that solving these problems is incredibly hard, even for a quantum computer. They're believed to be resistant to both classical and quantum attacks.
So new kinds of locks.
Exactly, new locks for the quantum era. The U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, the agency that sets tech standards, has been leading a global competition since 2016 to find the best PQC algorithms.
They've found some.
Yes, in August 2024, they finalized the first set. Algorithms like Crystal's Kyber and Crystal's Dilithium, these are the front runners, the new standards designed to secure our data moving forward.
Okay, so we have the tools, the new locks, but transitioning, the scale of that seems absolutely daunting.
It is. It's a monumental task. We're talking about updating billions, maybe trillions of devices. Everything from your smartphone to satellites, critical infrastructure, servers.
And fundamentally revamping internet protocols too, like TLS, which encrypts our web browsing.
Exactly. TLS, secure shells, VPNs. Everything needs an upgrade. It's a massive, complex undertaking.
Do we have numbers on that? Deadlines, costs?
We do. The U.S. government has set a 2035 deadline for all national security systems to adopt PQC. That's quite aggressive.
10 years from now.
Right. But globally, a 2024 NIST report found that only about 20% of companies worldwide have even started the transition.
Only 20%. Why so slow?
Cost is a huge factor. The estimates are staggering. $10 to $50 billion per industry to make the switch.
Wow, okay. But there are bright spots. Early adopters.
There are, definitely. We're seeing promising signs. Cloudflare, for example, implemented Kyber back in 2025 for secure web browsing. Google is actively testing PQC in its Chrome browser.
So consumer-facing stuff is starting.
Slowly, yes. And some governments are moving too. Estonia, always a bit ahead digitally, ran a PQC pilot in 2024, securing about 1 million digital IDs for their e-governance system. Small scale, but significant.
It shows it's possible.
It does. What's fascinating here is we're essentially in this two-front race, right? On one side, you have companies like IBM building more powerful quantum computers. They hit 1,000 qubits in 2024.
Which sounds like a lot, but you said we need millions.
Exactly. Millions of stable qubits for cryptographic relevance. So those world-breaking machines are still likely years away from being a widespread, practical threat to today's encryption. But the clock is ticking.
So the race is to deploy PQC faster than those powerful quantum computers arrive.
Precisely. PQC deployment must accelerate to outpace our adversaries and the hardware development. And honestly, public awareness and the pressure that comes with it is critical. We need that push to drive faster adoption, to make sure our data stays safe.
So what does this all mean? Given everything we've discussed, what are the biggest hurdles? The things we might not immediately think about in this massive quantum transition. Is it just technical?
That's a great question because it's definitely not just technical. There are layers to this. One big hurdle is computational power, like we touched on.
PQC needs more juice.
Often, yes. The algorithms can be more complex. NIST reports that Kyber, for instance, needs about 20% more processing power than RSA. That might not sound huge, but scale that across billions of devices. It could slow things down, increase operational costs, maybe affect battery life on mobile devices.
Okay, so performance hits. What else?
Second, and this is a big one often overlooked, legacy systems.
Old technology still running critical stuff.
Exactly. Imagine trying to update critical infrastructure, like, say, 30-year-old banking software that still somehow underpins vast financial operations. It's incredibly difficult, maybe even impossible in some cases, without a complete overhaul. And that risks leaving dangerous security gaps as we try to implement these new standards.
Patching old systems is always a nightmare.
It is. Third is global coordination. While NIST is leading the charge on standardization, which is great, other countries, like China, are developing their own proprietary PQC solutions.
So competing standards.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Which could fragment the internet, create compatibility issues, maybe even digital borders where data encrypted one way can't be easily decrypted elsewhere. It complicates things significantly.
Right. We need everyone on the same page, ideally.
Ideally. And finally, there's public skepticism, or maybe just confusion. The sheer complexity of this quantum threat means clear communication is vital. We need to inform people without causing panic, but also build trust in the solutions. You mentioned seeing #QuantumThreat posts.
Yeah, 1.5 million on X in 2025.
Yeah, right. That highlights the need to educate effectively, to manage expectations, and to explain why this massive, costly transition is so necessary.
It really is a double-edged sword, isn't it? Quantum computing. It holds this incredible promise for breakthroughs in medicine, AI, material science.
Huge potential upsides, yes.
But it also carries this profound threat to shatter the very foundation of our digital security. And as we stand here today, July 25th, 2025, Q-Day looms. Maybe not tomorrow, but it's on the horizon. And that harvest now, decrypt later strategy is very much underway.
That's the crucial takeaway, I think. Our financial systems, national security, our personal privacy, even the volatile world of cryptocurrencies, they're all hanging in the balance. Adversaries are actively stockpiling data now.
Well, PQC offers that lifeline.
It does. Post-quantum cryptography is our best hope, a way to secure our future. But that transition window, maybe 10 to 20 years for widespread adoption, it's rapidly closing, the race is absolutely on, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
So, awareness and action. From governments, from companies, and frankly, from individuals like you listening. It's absolutely vital if we want to secure our digital future.
It really is. Everyone has a role to play, even just by demanding better security from the services they use.
So here's a final thought for you to mull over. What part of your online life worries you most in this quantum era? Is it your finances, your private communications, something else entirely?
Good question to ponder.
Let us know. Leave a comment below if you agree or disagree with our summary of this pretty complex topic. We'd love to hear your perspective. And hey, for more great information like this, be sure to visit Mind Expansion Daily.
They do great work unpacking these kinds of issues.
Absolutely. So check them out, and please like and subscribe to their content if you find it valuable. Let's demand a quantum-safe world, folks, before it's too late.